Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of Bearish or Bullish. I'm Julie Alexandria, here with JC Peretz. JC, we do one show, and it was my idea, one show about crypto, and all of a sudden, you're Mr. Crypto. What gives?
Listen, I like big bases. I like things that go up. I don't like buying things that are going down. And when you look at tech stocks, they've been going down. Market breadth deteriorating, advanced decline lines deteriorating, fewer new 52-week highs. There's obviously distribution taking place in the stock market, regardless of whether the S&P is making all-time highs or not. And then when you look at the crypto space, new highs, big bases, breakouts. So, Julie, I don't care if we're buying U.S. Treasury bonds, corn futures, Apple shares, Tesla, or Ethereum. I don't care. I just want to sell things at higher prices than where I buy them. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I love that philosophy. That's the way it should be. I don't know about you. My stock portfolio is up. I get excited every time I check it. At this point, I just want to buy a mansion in like Palm Springs or something. Not that I could afford it, but it's a dream. So even though stocks are up, you are thinking of perhaps, I don't know, you're thinking a little bit bearish when it comes to Nasdaq.
We're not thinking anything. We're shorting the Nasdaq. All in, baby. Let's go. I hope it goes to zero. I don't care. It probably won't. I think you got about 50, 60 points of downside in the Qs. But that's a nice chunk. It's a nice tactical trade. I don't think it changes the bigger picture. I mean, when you go through all the charts in the world, huge bases, multi-decades in some cases, like Europe and emerging markets, Hong Kong, and then when you look at breadth deterioration in the short term, high beta rolling over, it looks like tactically it's a good time to take profits in stocks, especially as the S&P 500 hits our upside objective. I mean, hello, mission accomplished. And now you're getting bid in some other areas, like some of the defensive areas like treasury bonds and yen, and even gold is going up. So cryptos, defensive assets, that's what's working. That's okay by me.
Okay, wait, you just said gold, okay? I've been a fan of gold. You have been anti-gold. You've made fun of gold bulls. So at what point did you just flip the script?
Well, I mean, it's been hilarious. You know, you could have bought anything over the past year except gold and bonds for that matter, and you would have made money. I mean, literally any idiot could have made money in the last year except for the gold bucks, right? So it's just funny to watch human behavior. I mean, if you don't find humor in that, like, I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, to me, it's hysterical. So our upside objectives in gold were hit last summer. Feed the ducks. Here you go. You can have it. And it's really been a wait and see game. And now where it's not just gold, but other defensive assets as well getting involved. If you recall, 2 months ago, we were buying gold miners, GDX, and that trade has been working out very well. We weren't ready to dive into the metal itself. It was specifically the gold mining stocks, particularly the large caps showing relative strength. And now with gold breaking out, add the metal into the equation. I'm all about it. So yeah, we're buying gold. If it's above 1,800, I think you stay long. I think it's got a lot of upside.
All right, I'm going to check in with you again back next week, and we'll see where you stand on it. We'll see where gold is at. All right, fresh off the charts, the monthly charts live session, you talk about small caps and how if they're below February highs, just stay away, short them. Bearish or bullish?
Yeah, bearish, no doubt about it. Just like the Nasdaq, we want to be bearish if we're below the February highs. You can overcomplicate things. People do. They really enjoy overcomplicating things, really, but not me and not here at All-Star Charts. We like to keep it simple, stupid. And if we're below those February highs, it's quite obvious to me that there's an overwhelming amount of supply at those levels. And until demand is able to absorb that supply, it's a waste of time and money to own those things. And, my crystal ball's in the shop, so I don't know when exactly demand is going to finish absorbing this supply. Maybe it takes a few weeks, maybe a few months, maybe a few quarters, maybe never. I don't think it's never. I also probably don't think it's a few quarters. I'm thinking maybe a few months. I think if you're going to be short, I think you short the Nasdaq. But in terms of small caps, I'd rather just not be in it at all.
Okay, well, you tell me when that crystal ball comes out of the shop.
Ha.
I'll be waiting to hear. All right, the Angels have just released future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols in the final year of his 10-year, $253 million contract. Bullish or bearish on that one?
You know, I got to be bullish for the Angels. You probably know the contract better than me. My guess is that it's pretty high. He ain't dropping the bombs that he once did. Boy, did he used to drop bombs. It was almost like I was pitching. But I'm bullish for the Angels.
Definitely bullish for them. All right, let's talk about wine really quick. They sent a bottle of Petrus 2000. Tell me if I'm pronouncing that right. Petrus 2000 into space to space age it. It now is up on the auction block. Could garner $1 million. They also put up a regular time age 2000 bottle just so you can compare. Bearish or bullish? Would you pay that much for a space-aged bottle of red?
I don't have that kind of loot for booze, but if I did, I would, and it is Petrus.
Petrus. Now I know. What does that even taste like?
Heaven.
Better than Opus 1 or same
Opus
par?
1.
Oh, is that trash? I'm sorry.
No, it's not trash. Listen, Opus 1 is cool. It's a science experiment by two rich guys, right? So the Rothschilds and Mondavi got together and they're like, listen, if we do everything from the beginning of making wine all the way through the aging and the bottling and everything in the most expensive way possible from beginning to end, what would happen? And that's Opus 1. And yeah, it's good, but if you're going to spend that kind of loot, just go to Bordeaux.
Well, would you pay for a bottle of wine that spent time on the International Space Station and been space-aged?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Does that mean it's been hyper-aged?
I don't really know. I'm not really good with physics. I took art instead of physics in high school. Fortunately, because my friends who did take physics, like they weren't having a good time at all. So I'm just not like Mr. Physics guy. What I do know about wine is that you want to leave it at the same temperature. You don't want the volatility. So I'm thinking that if you're sending it to space, you might have some volatile temperature swings. I think, right?
That is a great point. It is cold out in space. It's cold and lonely out in space. Elton John will tell you as much. I'm very interested to know. It's going to be sold at Christie's. All right. Well, thank you so much, JC. We appreciate it for all this and so much more. And to get your bottle of space-aged wine, if that's even a thing, you can check out allstarcharts.com.
Buy gold and drink Bordeaux. Trust me. That's the way to live, Julie.
I'm down with it. Do you know how much gold I'm wearing right now? I love gold.
You sound like Austin Powers.
Gold finger.
Gold.
I'm a big fan.